Well, after the recent death of Chicago police officer Melissa Torres, the conversation around mental health and law enforcement is more urgent than ever. Dr. Erie Crawford lost her husband, a retired CPD lieutenant, to suicide in 2019. And as a social worker and now author, she's helping families heal and recognize the warning signs. Her new book, The Other Side of Midnight, is a guide for surviving, navigating grief, and recovery. And Dr. Crawford joins us right now. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure to have you. As I was telling you as we were in the commercial break, I appreciate you for your vulnerability, sharing your journey, your story. I know it's one of pain, but also unique to you. But the reality is so many people have experienced what you've gone through, losing someone to suicide. And, you know, when it comes to a sickness like the flu or the cold, it's easy to see.
Yes.
But often mental illness like depression, it's hard to see. People can hide it. People can keep it silent. And I know that's something that your late husband, James Crawford, he was able to do that, not with you, but with a lot of people.
Yes.
Can you just start by sharing some about your husband with us and telling us about his life and who he was?
Sure. First, thank you for having me this morning. James Crawford was a person who cared a lot for others. He often put other needs before his. And so with that, it was kind of hard to see his pain because he was always so considerate of others. He was a father. He was a son. He was a big brother. You know, he was an uncle that all his nephews and his young cousins looked up to. He was just an outstanding man. So when he was going through his episodes or his situations, of course no one actually knew because they was always so dependent upon him. So no one actually looked at him for his pain, right? Because he was the one who kind of helped so many others to make it through complicated situations. You know, he was a lieutenant, he was a minister, and so he was like this multifaceted type of guy that everyone just assumed he was well put together. He was always confident in everything that he did, and he always was willing to share himself. And so for me, he was an amazing guy, and anyone that you may run into who knew him, they would tell you so. You know, he made an impact within CPD, serving 29 years. And so many of the officers, even today, still speak of him. I hear often of their experience and their love for him and how he made an impact in their lives within the police department.
Okay, and so I know you yourself, you in your book, you share warning signs that people should look out for. And with your husband, I mean, from what I read, you were able to see many of these signs. As you just mentioned, he didn't share that with other people, but some of the things are obvious. You know, people may be saying that they're thinking about taking their life, or they start to withdraw for people, starting to feel hopeless. But one of the things that you mentioned is people getting their affairs in order, like making a will. And so can you just highlight that a little bit more? Why is that something that people should think about as a warning sign, and along with all the other things as well?
Well, it was one of those things where they're starting to plan for when they're not here. And so it wasn't like it was one of these things that we often talk about. So when he decided that he wanted to make a will and get things in order, it was kind of out of nowhere. And so I'm thinking, why now, right? Why are we doing this now? Not that it's not a bad thing to do, right? We all should have a will in place. It was just the timing of it. And so it was very close to right before his passing that now he was working on trying to get all his affairs in order. And it's like, why are we doing this right now? Like, we've been married going on 20 years, so why now, right? And so it was a little questionable for me in that moment because it was just strong interest to have.
Okay, so I suppose if that's happening along with other things as well, because of course preparing for your future and making sure your family is okay is a good thing to do. So I wanted to read an excerpt from the book. You write, and this is an excerpt directed to people who know someone who have died by suicide. You write, "I also want to encourage you not to blame yourself for your loved one's actions. You must rebuild your life instead of dwelling in a chasm of guilt or feeling you don't deserve to live. So I myself, I have not experienced the loss of a husband or a spouse to suicide, but I did lose my dad this way in 2007. And so it just brought me back to those initial days where you do feel this guilt. You do feel, what could I have done? What should I have done to potentially help save this person's life? And so thankfully for me, those feelings did not penetrate and last very long, but I know that might not be the case for people who might be watching.
Yes.
So how can you help those of us who are left behind do what you say and not dwell in that guilt?
First of all, you have to go through your process of your pain, right? I'm not saying not to do that, but we can't blame ourselves for the actions of our loved ones because we had no way of knowing what they will actually do, right? So you're not constantly around them. You're not constantly in their spaces with them to understand what may be going on in their mind. So for me, I knew he struggled with depression, right? I knew he had this fight within him, but I also knew that it was something that he had to get resolved to. And so encouraging the counseling and things to that nature is what I did to kind of help him to manage on his own. So for me, once it happened, I'm like, I did what I could have done. There was no way of me knowing what other steps that would happen. And so I had to process that for myself, helping myself to get in tune with what I had done and what I tried to do to help him to kind of manage his depression. And so in order for you not to linger in that, it's best for you to get into counseling for yourself so that they can help you to manage that guilt, because we're going to feel guilty because pretty much it was on your watch, right?
Yeah.
I was in the home, so that was on my watch, but it was still something that was out of my control because the person that I saw go up the stairs was the person who I was married to. So not knowing what the next step was going to be, I can't blame myself for that, but I can work on myself and getting myself better. And so that's why I say that in my book, The Other Side of Midnight, just trying to help people say, no, it's not on me. Right?
Yeah,
I was there for them. I loved them. I did what I could, but they suffered with a mental illness. And when you suffer with a mental illness, it's a losing battle if you're not getting the help that you're supposed to get to help you to manage your depression.
Dr. Crawford, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Your book and you being here is just a reminder that we never know what someone is going through. No. And so it's so important to share empathy and to be kind to people, because our words and our action can truly have the potential to save someone's life. So thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having
The Other Side of Midnight is available now on Amazon. And if you or someone you know is struggling, you are not alone, and you can call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. All right. Thank you again, Dr. Crawford.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We'll be right back.